So the U.S. House of Representatives just voted to force the Trump administration and the DOJ to release all of the Epstein files, much to the dismay of Speaker Mike Johnson and President Trump. Also, we're going to talk about a recent accusation made by Jesse on Fire that Epstein was found alive on his island after his death. Let's get into this here. We're going to talk about why Trump might not want these files released and how this vote actually ended up happening. So, first of all, how did this vote end up happening? Representative Thomas Massie used a special tool called a discharge petition to go around Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson wouldn't bring this to a vote. He didn't want the Epstein file released to come to a vote. So Representative Thomas Massie actually went around and got a majority of the members of the House of Representatives to sign on to a discharge petition to force this vote, which was ultimately successful. Now, why doesn't Trump and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson want this vote to come forward? Well, Speaker Mike Johnson is basically, he's just very loyal to Trump. He does whatever Trump says. Why doesn't Trump want these files to come out? A lot of people say maybe it implicates him. A lot of people say, he's in the files, blah, blah, blah. If he is in the files, it's going to be like, of course he knew him. We all know that Trump knew Epstein, but and I've looked into this a lot, okay? I know more about Epstein than most people, a lot about him, okay? What I think it is Trump's largest or his third largest donor for his presidential campaign, a woman that gave him over $100 million for his presidential bid, is Miriam Adelson, okay? She is the wife of the late Sheldon Adelson, a large Las Vegas casino magnate, of course Jewish. Miriam, born in Israel, dual Israeli-American citizen, gave $100 million to President Trump's campaign. She funds lots of Zionist causes. She advocates for people who have spied on the U.S. government on the behest of Israel to be released. She likely does not want these Epstein files to be released, okay? After Thomas Massie got that discharge petition signed, she just donated $20 million to unseat Rep. Thomas Massie. $20 million, okay? And she gave $100 million to President Trump's campaign. So Miriam Adelson, I would say, and to a larger extent, the pro-Israeli lobby does not want these Epstein files released because they probably show that Epstein was working with Israel and with the Mossad, okay? Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister, Epstein and Barak have an extensive relationship. They met 30 times after Epstein's 2008 conviction for procuring a minor for prostitution. They meet 30 times after that, and there are hacked emails of Ehud Barak's that just released like a few months ago that show they had significant business dealings. So, and this is what people want to know, right? I mean, everyone knows about Epstein. Everyone knows about his crimes. What they don't know is, I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious that Epstein either had blackmail material on politicians, judges, police officers, or he was working for intelligence, or both, okay? And people want to know, who was he working for? And if the answer is Mossad, if the answer is Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing people at the behest of Israel, was blackmailing our politicians to pass pro-Israeli laws to help support Israel. So we'll see what's actually in these Epstein files. I don't think there's going to be anything meaningful. I'm going to play a clip here of a video I just dropped talking about how a lot of evidence on Epstein was not collected and how there was a huge cleanup operation on Epstein's island after his arrest and before the raid. There was actually a 5-week gap after Epstein was arrested before his island was raided. The evidence that was found at his New York residence wasn't collected. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip for you. Did you know that our government waited 5 weeks after Jeffrey Epstein's arrest to raid his island, and that during that time, the employees of his island conducted a massive cleanup operation, complete with massive construction projects and remodeling of the interiors of the buildings on the island? Additionally, the raid on his New York residence did not have a seizure warrant to go with it. The police just showed up, took pictures of stuff, left, and then when they came back 2 days later with a proper warrant, all of the stuff they had taken pictures of was gone. So we have none of that. So that's just a clip of a longer mini documentary I did on Epstein. I'll throw that up for you right now there in the corner if you want to watch that. We can actually see the employees of Epstein's Island gut the buildings there. They go through a complete remodel in that 5 weeks. I mean, this wasn't just, let's throw away some hard drives or whatever. This was like they completely gutted and scrubbed his island. So now you can see that probably the evidence that we have is not, there's not really going to be anything that great there. There's going to be maybe some tax returns, some financial documents might be kind of cool to see. But there's not really going to be a whole lot there. I also want to talk about this too because I just saw it. Jesse on Fire. I'm sure a lot of you guys like Jesse. Yeah, you like where I paused it here. So Jesse on Fire just came out and said, "Oh my God, Epstein. Somehow he took this one thing, Epstein's alive, and drug it out to a third." I guess that's kind of his thing, is he likes to drag shit out. But anyway, let's just watch this and let's debunk his theory on Epstein still being alive here.
If I wouldn't get sent to prison. All right, so that brings us to the headline story, okay, which is the Epstein picture that I had never seen before, which was photographed after he allegedly did himself in, okay? So if you guys have never seen this, that would make you just like me. So this is from Luke Rodkowski. He's the one who actually went to Epstein Island and took the videos and all that stuff. And there you go. You tell me, dude. You tell me, what does that look like? Okay. Because looks an awful lot like Jeffrey Epstein. And I would imagine there's a lot of things on that island that he wouldn't want people to find. Because here's the deal. Okay. When we're talking about
all right, that's enough of that. So I'm sure a lot of you guys like Jesse on Fire. I don't, I don't really have, I don't watch a lot of Jesse. This is just one thing that I saw today that I have actually really good knowledge on and can tell you exactly where this picture is from and exactly if that is or is not Epstein. Jesse likes to stream a lot. I mean, he posts, hours worth of content every day, and he likes to kind of drag things out and sensationalize things. Stuff like that, let me tell you guys, if you post really juicy headlines like that on YouTube, you will get a lot of clicks. If you try to be more truth-seeking, like me, you tend to get less clicks, which, so if you guys enjoy my content, please like, please subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm out, helps promote me, because I try to be maximally truth-seeking. I try not to just put out bullshit headlines that I know are bullshit because I know they'll get clicks. Because the biggest thing that people don't like about the mainstream media is the fact that the mainstream media lies to you, okay? But sensationalism and people like Jesse, and not everything he says is bullshit, but, some of it is. And that's what I'm trying to be maximally truth-seeking with what I do. And I don't want to get into this, you're just as bad as the mainstream media. You're just lying, instead of lying for the government, you're lying for clicks on YouTube, essentially. So anyway, please like, please subscribe. This picture here that he's got into
the Epstein files.
This is from drone footage over Epstein's Island. I've got all the drone footage up on my YouTube channel with commentary from me if you're curious. It's 3.5 hours long. This particular image that Jesse found comes from 8/30/19, which would be approximately 8 days after Epstein's death. The drone over Epstein's Island captured this. We're going to watch it together. I have this muted. There's commentary from me on here, but the guy is going to be parked on one of these side-by-sides here. There you can see him talking to that large black man there. So some people think this is Epstein. It's not Epstein. He's just a supervisor out there. We actually see him earlier in the drone footage. I will play that for him. But this is 100% not Epstein. These employees on this island have known that this drone has been flying around. It's been flying around over Epstein's Island for like a month, and they know it's there. They point at it. I mean, in this 3.5 hour thing, there's several times where the employees see the drone, they throw things at it. This guy just waved at it. So they know it's there. And if that really was Epstein, they wouldn't have him just be out and about. Okay, that's it. He's flying away now. If that really was Epstein, they wouldn't have him be out on the main road talking to that guy when these employees have seen this drone flying around for weeks and weeks and weeks. We actually see it. We see this same guy. I'll point him out to you. Here's when actually Epstein was alive still. Alive and in jail. This footage right here is very interesting. They're getting deliveries on Epstein's Island after his arrest, but before the FBI raid. His employees are conducting a massive cleanup operation here, which you should check out my most recent video on that. It's very, very interesting. But this is one of the supervisors. This footage was shot out on a boat from really far away. But we're going to see this guy that Jesse on Fire claimed was Epstein here pretty soon. It almost makes you sick watching this. But, I mean, he's probably out there hundreds of feet away from the island on a boat going up and down. This could be the Rusty Shackelford footage. So, yeah, they've got 2 trucks out there. This CIA agent, I imagine this guy's CIA agent. You can see him taking off here wearing the Walter White DB Cooper disguise. All right, we're going to see him here soon. And boom, there he is. Yeah, he's going to zoom in on him. And boom. Okay. There's this guy. This is July the 25th. This looks much less like Epstein than that other picture. And again, if this was really Epstein, they would not have him out on the beach unloading pallets. Okay, Epstein would be in his house. He would be in his bunker. He would be in his underground tunnel network. Which, by the way, guys, there are no tunnels there. I don't care if you think there's tunnels on Epstein's Island. You're just wrong. Watch my drone footage video and tell me if you see any evidence of tunnels. Okay, but no, that is not Epstein. He's not going to be on the beach of his island unloading pallets. He's not going to be days after his arrest when the employees know that drone is out there. He's not going to be sitting in the middle of the road waving at the drone. Okay. Sorry if you like Jesse on Fire. I'm sure he's a cool guy. I'm sure he's got some nice content out, but some of the stuff he puts out is it's just bullshit. And that right there is just bullshit. And in my opinion, we shouldn't really be like peddling these fake stories or whatever. Now, in his defense, okay, and I know this, I'm not nearly as big a creator as Jesse, and I don't have nearly the amount of content as him. But I do know that sometimes you see things on Twitter, you see things on X, and you think that they're real, and you don't have time to spend hours and hours of research into every little thing you say. So in Jesse's defense, maybe he did not actually do, maybe he just saw that and was like, oh my God, that guy looks like Epstein, which he kind of does. If you're just, a regular guy, you look at him, it does kind of look like him. But that's all for today. Bye.